Jack is left at the spot with no one to talk to. Even his director left after promising to bring the bomb squad in. This was a lie. He only said that so the other crew members would agree to leave. While Jack was still there alone, his mother started calling, as was her regular habit. Jack couldn't pick up the call, but all he could do was remember how much he loved spending time with her and how much he would miss her. If he still had a chance to speak with her, she would be very proud of him as a little, rising actor. He couldn't help but cry and wish he had some time to talk with his mom. Without wasting time, he opens the case he's carrying, revealing stacks of cash neatly bundled together. He sets the money down on a nearby table, his eyes cold and calculating. His voice is firm, almost commanding, as he speaks to the crew. "This is for your silence," he says. "No one talks about what happened here today. This stays between us." The crew stands frozen, the weight of the situation settling on them. The investigator's offer is clear: hush money, a bribe to cover up the events that transpired. They exchange uneasy glances, torn between what they had just witnessed and the temptation of the money now lying in front of them. The extra, Jack, had just put his life on the line to save the famous star, an act of heroism that no one would forget. It was the kind of bravery that deserved recognition. But now, they were being told to forget it all. Tension fills the air. The crew, many of whom had been part of the film industry for years, had seen their share of scandals, but this was different. This wasn't a story about fame or fortune, it was a human story about sacrifice. As the investigator waits for their response, the weight of the decision becomes clear. Then, the turning point arrives. One by one, the crew members begin to recognize the magnitude of what Jack had done. His actions weren't just impulsive, they were selfless. He had risked everything, not for fame, but because he believed in something greater than the script, the camera, or even the money. Jack had saved someone's life. He had saved the star, but in doing so, he had become the true star of this story. In a quiet moment, the crew gathers in a huddle. There's no longer any debate about the money in front of them. They are united by one truth: Jack's bravery must be recognized. But the road to doing the right thing isn't clear. Some argue that they should call for help, but others fear the scandal would ruin their careers. The whispers of the scandal are already starting to surface, and there's the looming threat of the investigator's wrath. "We can't just let it end like this," one of the crew members says. "He's a hero. We can't let them erase that." Another voice chimes in. "But if we expose everything, we'll all be finished. We'll never work in this town again." As the debate rages on, time slips away. Jack, still in his perilous position, calls out for help. His voice cracks with desperation. He's running out of time, and the crew knows they must act fast. Finally, the team makes a decision. They will not abandon Jack. They begin to work together, devising a plan to rescue him. They used their knowledge of the terrain and carefully tracked the landmines surrounding him. Some members bring in lights to illuminate the darkened area, while others set up shields to protect Jack from the waves crashing around him. The crew becomes a well-oiled machine, each person playing their part in this final act of redemption. The tension is high, but there's a palpable sense of unity and purpose. They refuse to let the investigators' money silence them. They refuse to let Jack's bravery go unrecognized. After a tense and grueling few hours, they managed to replace Jack with something heavy to ease his burden, a symbol of their commitment to his cause. The team, together, saves Jack. As the day finally draws to a close, the skies light up with fireworks. The celebration is loud, bright, and filled with joy. The world may never know the full story, but the crew knows the truth. Jack, the unsung hero, is finally recognized not by the world, but by the people who saw his sacrifice. The extra is lifted, not as an anonymous bystander, but as the true hero of the day. The crowd cheers, and though the cameras aren't rolling, it doesn't matter. Jack has finally found his moment.